grateful that Stephanie asked me to come and do this, Stacey rather, asked me to come and do this, because I've been sitting at the back and I've been getting more and more excited about the things I've been hearing schools doing. It's been lovely to hear it. What I'd like to talk to you very briefly about is philosophy for children. P4C, or in secondary schools, philosophy for communities, or something like community of inquiry. They kind of changed the name in secondary schools because it's more grown up. But philosophy for children will do. And it's something that I've been involved with for about 10 years now. I think it's absolutely fantastic. A bit like Carlsberg reaches the parts that many other strategies can't reach. Proven strategy for raising standards, but actually that's not what I'm in it for. The reason I'm in philosophy for children is because I see kids coming alive when they do it. I hear teachers say to me, I didn't know they could think like that. I'm going to have to up the quality of my questioning. You didn't know this child, but actually they never say anything. Couldn't stop them in this session. Or a quote from a Year 7 student who was rather known for behaving rather badly after his first hour of philosophy for children. He said, I'd like to apologise to everybody for messing about at the beginning. This is worth doing. It won't happen again. So, kind of, it reaches into things. Now, I could talk to you about philosophy for children, but I think it's more important that children can talk to you about philosophy for children. So I've got a DVD clip from a school in London, Galleons Primary, and you will see children talking about P4C and teachers talking about P4C, and if you just note that the same children are speaking 3 years apart to some extent, so you see them and then you see them 3 years later. Okay, sorry about music, but it's a music school as well as other things. Here you go.
Anymore, because in Africa they've got certain rules of doing certain things.
Mohammed, would you like to respond to what Jordan and Ali would have just said?
Jordan, I disagree with you. Most of the time there's actually fights going on and the police can't control it.
Do I deserve to be on this earth, or does anyone here deserve to be on this earth? And that's quite a difficult question. Probably everybody's going to say this, I do deserve to be on earth. And if you sum up all the things that you've done wrong to people, like hurt people and make people feel sad, do you really deserve to be on this earth? And I'm thinking, like, do I deserve to be on this earth?
Once a week for the past 4 years, these children have been participating in a unique form of learning. It's called Philosophy for Children, and it has changed the way they think about the world and their place in it.
I think Africa's kind of a free country and kind of not.
Philosophy is like a chance for us to explain what we think and say our emotions and how we feel about the world and all the things that are in it. In response to June, I think we do have a puzzle because our life has difficulties.
I think philosophy has changed me a lot because when I was in year 3, I always wanted to get my own way, but now I've learned how to listen to different people's opinions, and it's changed me. I'm not that angry no more.
Galleons opened in 1999 in a newly developed area of Newham in East London. Creativity and self-expression are at the heart of learning at Galleons. Every child from year 2 up learns a string instrument, and much of the curriculum is taught through art, drama, music and dance. In June 2006, the school received an outstanding inspection report from Ofsted. Yet Galleons serves a community with high levels of social deprivation and special educational need. The school works hard to create an environment where every child feels encouraged to learn and to achieve.
Well, the vision for the school was a place where people would be happy to be and would get on well, would be wanting to cooperate together. The children needed to be able to talk and to establish friendly relations with the teachers.
Philosophy for Children was introduced as part of the school's work with Antidote on emotional literacy. The aim was to offer children time to think and to talk about things that really matter to them.
I really like philosophy because it's a time for you to say what you believe, and you get to listen to other people's opinions. And philosophy is different to other subjects.
When we first started philosophy, it was more me getting used to the way of working. And if you're used to doing lesson plans where you expect an end result and matched against a learning objective, it can be quite personally challenging to give the learning over to them. But I think after that first month of hourly lessons, that first month, we could see it working already and the buzz was there.
Weekly sessions of philosophical inquiry are now a central part of learning from reception to Year 6. Marimba class have no doubts about how much it has meant to them.
Now we're in Year 6, we're really squeezing the juice out of philosophy. Our understanding of it, now we've had a chance to really think about it now.
A majority of us are mature, and I think it's because we do philosophy, we understand how people feel and their opinions about things.
Philosophy's played a massive part in who I am as a practitioner, as a teacher. I'd say it's completely changed the way I teach without being too dramatic. It's shown me how incredibly important it is to talk to children. We're going to have our minute silent thinking time. So this is our chance just to have a think. Any response you have, some of you have got responses already, I can see, in the form of a question. Philosophy has empowered them to be able to come to me and tell me what they need. And in that way, I think I've adapted my teaching.
Philosophy for Children is a special kind of thinking skills programme. It makes the most of children's inborn curiosity, encouraging them to raise their own questions and develop their reasoning as they think them through together.
My son often asks questions about life. So when I heard they did philosophy, I thought, great, because he's going to love that. Because what I find happens is that a child starts asking these questions, and if they're not met, the child stops asking questions.
With philosophy, there's no one right answers, and there's no arguing, there's just opinions being shared between people, and people taking into account what other people think, and building on other people's ideas.
So the question that nearly half of you voted for was, if life were a puzzle, does it need to be completed?
It's actually the children's lesson because we actually think of the ideas for the lesson. And I wouldn't actually call it a lesson, but I would actually call it a time of thinking and discussing with your peers.
I think quite early on in the process, I saw that for the children this became an exciting, open-ended lesson. There was no right or wrong answers, so everybody felt quite confident going into it. And I felt the more confident I became in my approach to managing their contributions and deepening the inquiries, the more articulate they became, the more creative, and the more interesting our inquiries became.
Jasmine, do you have a response to Steve and Alex?
Steve, I disagree with you because if the book wasn't real, then they wouldn't have made this book.
When I first started philosophy, it was what I was speaking about, if the stimulus was the story, I would actually talk about the story itself. But now, I think that I talk about life and death and stuff like that. I think that every day we're getting closer to losing something, and like we're Year 6, we're going to move on, and most of us are probably not going to see each other, and that's you're getting closer to that every single day.
I think we're giving these children the tools and giving them the language and providing them with the opportunity to be able to talk about things that are really important to them.
I used to struggle with hard questions, and I wasn't confident to speak my opinion. If any of my other friends used to say something, I just agree, but that wasn't my opinion. I wasn't really confident about what's...
Thank you. They say it. One of the teachers was saying actually it's quite challenging to go about doing philosophy for children because it's slightly different to the way that we've been trained to deliver the curriculum, if you like. And so the national organisation for philosophy for children, which is Superior, and you've got some blue leaflets on your table if you wish to follow it up, have devised a 2-day training course which teachers can undertake and which is 10 hours of training, which I in fact deliver locally, which can equip you to do philosophy for children. What I feel is that it embeds best, and there are schools in the county where it's absolutely flying, it embeds best when a whole staff decide to take it on. Now obviously that's time, training time is precious. And so what I've done is, for those schools who might be interested, I've set up a taster day. There are booking forms on the table for you if you want to come and you want to have a look. The cost is £100 per school, but if then the school wishes to go forward and actually do a whole school on-site training, then that money will be refunded against the cost of the training. So it's a case of come and see. It's a good day. People say they really enjoy it. It should be fine. Okay? The other thing that is available is that I thought we might do a little exercise with philosophy for children to give you a kind of a feel for it. What I can't do is actually be here and work with your children, because when you see it working with your children, Stacey's nodding here because she's seen it happen, it kind of brings the thing alive. So when we were talking about, will you come and do this, Pauline, can you do a raffle prize for us? I said, okay, I will do a 1-day raffle prize of coming into the Winners' School, doing 2 inquiries with classes and a staff briefing, so you could actually see it working with your own kids. But for everybody else, the best I felt I could do was to offer this taster day. So it's really a case of first come, first served. There is a booking form knocking around on your table. You've also got some business cards, which are mine. The website gives a PowerPoint presentation about P4C that gives you more detail, but I thought you'd probably enjoy this more. And now I think it's time you got up and did something. So, there's some purple cards. 1 between 2, ladies and gentlemen, purple cards. Get them from the middle of the table. We've only got a minute or so. Grab them quick. 1 between 2. These are kind of questions. You might do.
Affordability, yeah, affordability.
I'm going to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I want you to get up and talk to somebody else at your table who's got a card. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Come on up! Open the card. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, change again. I'm not surprised it's hard to stop. So, there was laughter, there was interest, it was fun. It was not ivory tower, it's very practical. I'm going to finish with that. The information you need is on the table. Please would you pass the purple cards that way and I'll collect them at the back. And thank you for having me.